When you are being pursued, do you watch your defense? Welcome to the Daily Devo. I am Vince Miller. Now, in just a couple of days, we're going to begin a brand new YouTube show over on YouTube. Imagine that. It's more long format teaching by me around major themes. Now, right here on the Daily Devo, we're going to continue doing the same thing. Reading the Bible, a few verses at a time, a few chapters at a time, getting through, hopefully, the entire Bible over the next 20 years. So we're going to continue doing the same thing here, but over there, you're going to get more long-form discipleship from me. So if you've been looking for that, that's our way to deliver great content to you. So this week, we are continuing in 1 Samuel chapter 19, doing the same thing we've always done. I've titled this chapter, When Enemies Pursue, God Will Protect. And so far in this chapter, we have learned that two of King Saul's children, his son Jonathan and his daughter Michal, advocate for David. And let's read what happens next in 1 Samuel chapter 19, verses 18 down through the end of the chapter. Now David fled and escaped, and he came to Samuel, the prophet, remember him, at Ramah, and told him all that Saul had done. Essentially, he tells on him. And he and Samuel went and lived at Naioth. And it was told Saul, behold, David is at Naioth in Ramah. Then Saul sent messengers to take David, and when they saw the company of the prophets prophesying, and Samuel standing as head over them, the Spirit of God came upon the messengers of Saul, and they also prophesied. Fascinating. When it was told Saul, he sent other messengers, and they also prophesied. And Saul sent messengers again a third time, and they also prophesied. Then he himself went to Ramah and came to the great well that is at Secu, and he asked, where are Samuel and David? And one said, behold, they are at Naioth and Ramah. And he went there to Naioth and Ramah, and the Spirit of God came upon him also. And as he went, he prophesied until he came to Naioth and Ramah, and he too stripped off his clothes, and he too prophesied before Samuel, and lay naked all that day and all that night. Thus, it is said, is Saul also among the prophets. So just a little heads up here about this moment. David leaves Saul's house and never returns. Never. David will never see Jonathan again because, well, Jonathan dies in battle. He will also not see his wife, Michal, until after Saul and Jonathan's death. During this time, this waiting time, this period of about 12 years, David and Michal remarry other spouses, and once they are reunited, their marriage appears to be very strained. But we'll get there eventually. That's in a coming book. But here we notice that David retreats to Samuel's village, which is approximately about 3 miles away. But when Saul's assassins arrive, they are met by the overwhelming power of the Spirit of God. Remember, we must see this moment as the third of 3 defenses. First, David is defended by a friend who advocates for him. Second, he is defended by his wife, who conceals his escape. And then last, he is defended by the Spirit of God, and nothing is going to protect him better than the Spirit of God. And just as a side note here, I want you to know this is not a case of believers being slain in the Spirit. These men have not come to Samuel and David with any type of spiritual intrigue. They are arresting assassins who want to kill David. They come in 3 waves, yet are so engrossed by the Spirit that they cannot continue their mission. It seems they don't even remember it. They now work for the King of Glory instead of working for King Saul. Hopefully you see that here. Now, if you are counting over the last couple of chapters, there have been 7 attempted assassinations on the life of David by Saul. 3 spears are thrown at him, 3 expeditions are now sent, and 1 additional attempt by Saul himself. But when Saul arrives at Naioth, something interesting happens. He uncontrollably casts off his royal attire, which is undoubtedly a divine stripping of his royal identity before the Spirit and the will of God. In this symbolic moment, Saul is stripped. He is then overpowered and arrested by God. The man who has come to arrest and assassinate David has now been arrested and apprehended by the King of Glory, God himself. You know, I should say this here. What David does here to retreat is right. Retreating is necessary and justified at times. David has attempted everything possible to keep peace with Saul in his house. His only choice was to run. And he had no idea how things would pan out in Naioth, or that this running was going to carry on for 12 long years. However, David knew one thing. There was a man of God in Naioth who was on God's side. You see, for me, David exemplifies fighting with integrity and understanding when the fight will result in losses for everyone. Running from the problem was the only option for David. And during the retreat, the Spirit of God did all the fighting for him. You see, sometimes David fought with the Spirit, like he did with Goliath, and other times the Spirit fought for him, like here. In any case, we should do the same. Either fight with the Spirit or let him fight for you, but never, ever, ever fight with the Spirit of God. It will strip you bare naked and might leave you feeling, well, a little exposed before all your perceived enemies. I love you guys. I pray this has blessed you. If it has, share it with someone else. And I'll see you right back here and tomorrow.